Hey, how y'all doing today? Happy Saturday. Um, Today is Saturday, excuse me, October the 19th. Um, and I've been, of course, on the streets of YouTube, and I'm really shocked at some of the things I've been seeing, some of the behavior and stuff that I've been witnessing. So, wanted to come on and kind of talk to y'all about that this morning and share some of the things that I've learned. I'm not going to share any streams or anything like that today. It's just going to be me talking. So while we wait for people to come in and stuff, go grab you a coffee because we're going to have some serious conversations today. Excuse me. So I want to welcome all of you back to Let's Talk About It with KK, where we'll dive into all things true crime. And our conversations are just as rich as the coffee. I'm Karen, your host, and today we're tackling a big topic that's been buzzing around the true crime community really a lot on the YouTube channels. And that's civil suits against other YouTube creators for covering crimes as well as missing person cases. I know it's a lot, but stick with me here. We're going to unpack how these lawsuits are shaking things up for creators on YouTube and beyond, because this isn't just with YouTube. It's not just the smaller channels that are getting hit either. Even Netflix, with its huge true crime shows, has faced well over 20 lawsuits in the recent years. So yeah, it's a lot to talk about today. Hey Casey, how you doing? I did not realize my microphone was muted. So it'll be a long intro. But no, what I wanted to talk about today, is all this drama surrounding these civil suits against creators. I mean, it's not just YouTube creators. It's the whole true crime industry. This is just a lot of unethical stuff that is going on the streets with these true crime stuff. It's it's a lot. And I don't know, you know how popular this true crime thing has gotten. And everyone is covering missing persons or unsolved murders or, all sorts of wild stuff. We stream the trials to some things here on this channel. But with that popularity also comes some risks. And as more and more creators are hitting these streets of YouTube and stuff, there's going to be more and more lawsuits for things like defamation, invasion of privacy, emotional distress. Those are real things. And those are real issues. Bullhorn Betty, and she got into some legal trouble after reporting, about Sebastian Wayne Drake Roger, that missing 15-year-old boy from Tennessee. But she was naming people and making accusations without any solid proof or any type of evidence. Not even half solid. Not even circumstantial. I mean, and it's not just happening on YouTube, it's Netflix too. Making a Murderer and The Staircase. Netflix alone has faced over 20 lawsuits. And a lot of these are for defamation and misrepresentation. So it doesn't matter if you're a solo YouTube creator or you're a big time production company like Netflix. The legal risk is the same. The law doesn't differentiate between the two. And like I mentioned, the Making a Murderer, the controversy surrounding that. Netflix is still dealing with a legal fallout from that series. Defamation is one of the main reasons that YouTube creators or even platforms like Netflix get into legal trouble. Defamation, it happens when someone makes a false statement about somebody else. And that statement damages their reputation. And it doesn't have to damage it in a big degree. It just has to damage it slightly. On YouTube, this happens often when creators start to speculate about suspects in crimes without any type of evidence whatsoever to back it up. It's tricky. One minute you're theorizing, and the next you're facing a lawsuit. It's a lot of legal headaches. And Netflix has had plenty of them. Several law enforcement agents, officers rather, who were shown in the documentary, Making a Murderer, has sued Netflix. Buster Murdaugh sued Netflix for defamation because they said they was misrepresented and it damaged their careers. And here's the thing. Even though Netflix is huge, the legal rules are the same for the small YouTube creators. And if you make false claims or misrepresent someone, you could be sued for defamation, plain and simple. I mean, it's easy to get carried away when we're discussing these cases. That is so true. You start with good intentions, but somewhere in the conversation, you cross that line without even realizing it. And that brings us to the invading people's privacy or causing emotional distress. I mean, there's a lot of public information, and like court documents, police reports, things like that. But just because it's public doesn't mean you should be sharing it. And there's a fine line, and if you cross that fine line, you could face some serious consequences. I mean, take for example, Netflix's Tiger King? They sued because they felt it exposed too much of their personal lives and made them look bad. Same thing can happen to YouTube creators. Just because you're a YouTube creator and you're just sitting here talking, those same rules apply to you. You don't have the right to invade somebody's privacy. You do not have a right to cause chaos in a community. You do not have a right to create such a ruckus in a neighborhood and bother the neighbors, one of them that was on hospice. It's pathetic. And yes, there's a YouTube creator that did that very thing. Several of them. And they're disgusting. You know, you might think that, it's already out there, so no big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal. If somebody jumps off of a bridge, are you going to jump off too? Just because somebody else does it doesn't mean you have to too. Be better. Be better. Do better. And, just because it's a public document, I heard a YouTube creator say, well, it's a public document. Why do I'm not responsible for redacting. Well, you just proved to me that you're not an ethical YouTube creator. And he was talking about a civil suit that has been filed by some people surrounding this thing. I don't even, it's really sad because I don't even want to mention the little boy's name, and the little boy has done absolutely nothing. But the clown show that this has turned into, I don't even want to mention it. But the mother and the stepfather of the missing little boy got protective orders against a YouTube creator by the name of Bullhorn Betty. Well, she is on the side of his biological father. Well, now his biological father, Bullhorn Betty, TikTok Tony, and Dog the Bounty Hunter has brought lawsuits against either 20 or 50 other YouTube creators. And it's not just a civil lawsuit for defamation. They're actually claiming RICO charges. They're claiming RICO, which I don't see how the hell they can do that, but okay. And this person, this one YouTube creator, he was reading the lawsuit. It's fine to read the contents of a lawsuit. However, when there is personal information of individuals listed in these documents, the ethical thing to do is to redact them. I have absolutely zero use for channels that do not redact legal documents that have addresses and full names of people. That's called doxing. You don't release that information. You just don't do it. And when you're reporting on these things and you're reporting on these cases, you don't release their addresses, because that family, even though it's public information, it could lead to others, not necessarily you, but others, harassing them. And because you release their address, that's on you. That's on you. So, as I say, it's a very slippery slope when you're covering true crime. Be careful what you talk about. Be careful what comes out of your mouth and how it comes out. If you think that you're presenting just facts, well, one, make sure you know where you're getting your information from. Make sure it's a reputable source, not Google. Google's not reputable, by the way. Neither is AI. Okay? Neither is AI. Regardless of what a lot of people want to think. AI is powered by Google. Give me a break. But if these facts cause emotional distress or they invade someone's privacy, you could be setting yourself up for some serious legal trouble. And trust me, we've seen plenty of creators get into hot water for this exact reason. And like I just mentioned earlier, this doxing, that's exactly what this is. It's doxing. You're giving out too much personal information. Even if it is already public information, it can lead to a real world legal mess. So before you hit that upload or you hit that go live button, always make sure that you think twice about what you want to say and what you want to share. And make sure that it's ethical. I mean, it's just crazy how some people act today. If you would not say it, standing there looking this person in the eye, or you would not raise your hand in a court of law and swear to tell the truth and the whole truth, so help you God, with what you're about to say, don't say it. Simple as that. Think about other people. Don't just think about your numbers on YouTube or Facebook. Don't just think about the number that's in your bank account. Let me tell you something about that bank account. You on somebody else's platform. YouTube, Facebook. You're using someone else's platform. And that platform can be stripped away. All that money that it shows that you've made, if you lose your channel, it's gone too. So if you enjoy being able to make a little bit of change and do something that you actually enjoy doing and have the potential to grow to massive levels, do it ethically. Don't do it any other way. Do it ethically. Because if you do it ethically, it'll withstand everything that comes its way. If you're going to do survivor stories to tell their stories, to get the truth out there. And to make a difference. That's what this should all be about. So, me check the chat. I've not. Yes, Casey, one of the guys actually killed himself from the show. Yeah, I remembered that about Emily D. Baker too. They showed her without her permission. And it's, you brought up don't bully. And it's just, I don't know, I'm kind of at a loss here because it's like, it really just blows my mind that so many adults are bullies. I mean, I don't get it. And I've even seen adults bully kids. And it's pathetic. And Betty is a bully. She's a bully. The things that she has gotten on here and said about the mother of that 15-year-old little boy. She said that I've heard it come out of her mouth myself, where she said that his mother did something to him, that he didn't walk out of that house. He was carried out of that house. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me in any way, but I think I've even pretty much heard her say she's killed her son. Where is he? Even the police, the TBI, the FBI, they've all been involved in this. And there's no evidence of a crime being committed. And some people on these YouTube streets don't understand that a teenager will walk off in a damn heartbeat. That a teenager with autism who was newly diagnosed with autism will walk off. You can't sit here and say that he didn't walk off because you don't know, you weren't there. The only people that were in that house was him and his mother. And the way that his biological dad has acted is appalling, in my opinion. And I'm not going to give my airways and his name anytime on my airways. He ain't even worth it. And I have felt that way since the beginning. There's something, I don't know what it is. I've never met the guy, never talked to the guy. But there's just something. Something. I don't know what it is. Something. Something about that whole mess. And old Dog the Bounty Hunter, wanting to get behind this lawsuit and give me a break, dude. He was on I think it was Court TV, and he couldn't even remember the biological father's name. He called him by a different name. It's like, dude. So, but that's what I wanted to talk about today, because it's just these YouTube channels, they're talking about this YouTube creator, or they're talking about that YouTube creator. Okay, you don't like the way this person is doing. Okay, I get it. You hadn't heard of what, Casey? I don't know. Oh, you hadn't heard about oh, Lord, girl. I'll send you some links. He was on, I can't think of, it was Court TV. And it was the blonde-headed lady. I can't think of her name. But she was talking to him, and he never did. The whole time he was talking about the biological father of this missing 15-year-old, he was calling him by the wrong name. And it's like, what the hell? But I'll send you some links, because I don't want to be a part of the unethical stuff. That's why I like, if I'm going to share court documents about the Bullhorn Betty stuff, I'll share them from Burnt Toast or someone, because she always redacts them. She always hides the personal information. And I find that very ethical of her. And there's so many that don't. Yeah. And it can get out of control real fast. I mean, just like with that making of a murderer, or making a murderer. I mean, the way that series was done, I did not like it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably one of the very few people that does not feel like the state of South Carolina proved their case against Alex Murdaugh in regard to the murder of his wife and son, because I watched that trial. Now, I did not watch it gavel to gavel. Yes, that they do, and you know what? That's another unethical thing, in my opinion. I don't want to use our channel for to defame others in any way. However, when things are not right, you know, I'm gonna point out things that ain't right because there's a right way to do this and a wrong way to do it. And we're all adults here. We're not in competition with one another. We truly aren't. And I do not understand this competition on YouTube. I the people that are meant for my channel will find my channel. That's how I feel about it. And those that aren't meant for my channel won't find it. And that's fine with me. Well, I mean, I watched it, but I also had to work too during it. So, but I just, I don't know. I just don't feel like they proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's the one that shot and killed his wife and child. I just, I don't know. I just, if I was a jury on the jury and I was sitting there during that trial, which granted, I was having to get up and do things and so forth, I with what I saw, I wouldn't have been able to vote guilty. I mean, they hands down proved that he stole all that money, no doubt. And I mean, that alone is gonna put him in prison for life. But for that documentary to make the accusations that they made against Buster and the other things against those, not accusations against the officers. Well, I guess it kind of was saying they wasn't doing their job and all this, that these people that create the documentaries and these true crime shows and stuff, they all really need to be careful about how they do it. I mean, they really, really do need to be careful about how they go about it. The sons. I mean, it's like I say, there's a right way and a wrong way to do things, and as long as we do them right, we'll be good. We don't have to worry about a lawsuit coming towards us. Just as long as we stay ethical. And just because it's public doesn't mean we have to share it. So, mm. But that's what I wanted to talk about today. Because it's just been a lot, and a lot of people are on this, and they're, I don't know, girl, they done lost their ever loving mind, I think. Oh, you talking about when Buster was testifying? I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna kill your family, wouldn't you kill them all? Not just 2 of them. And I can't sit here and say that I believe he killed them because of the lawsuit of the the boat accident, because Maggie would have sold Moselle to protect her kid. Oh, you talking about when Paul but see, I want you to think about something. Look at the video that was taken off of Paul's phone, and you see how early in the day that was? They were shot and killed somewhere between 9 and 9:30 and 10 o'clock. But yet, there again, their time of death is questionable because the coroner, the medical examiner that showed up, didn't do a liver probe. All he did was stick his arm under the armpit. That ain't gonna tell you nothing. That ain't gonna tell you a dad blame thing. So, for all we know, just there's just a lot that, and then the fact of him having 2 weapons. Mm, there's a lot about this case that don't, that part of the case. I mean, I know he's a horrible individual. Well, to me, with it being so daylight and so bright during that video was earlier during the day. It wasn't right before they were killed. And Alex said all along that him and Paul had ridden around on the side by side and stuff around the property. So he had been with Paul earlier. He stated that. Then they had dinner, and Paul and his mom went to the kennels, and I don't know. I just don't see the proof. And I mean, think about this. When he was confronted, was still in the money. He never lied about it. Not once, not even in the beginning. He never lied about it. No, I hadn't either. And that's why when I heard that medical examiner say that, I was like, what? To determine the accurate time of death, it takes a liver probe. Any medical examiner worth their salt knows that. Honest to God, I don't know how these murder charges was allowed to come about. I think this was all part of a conspiracy. I think they're covering up for who really shot and killed Maggie and Paul. I think there's a lot more to this. This was too big to just be that one little man. Mm-mm. 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 And, you know, okay, yeah, Paul was driving the boat intoxicated. Every damn one of them on that boat was intoxicated. Every one of them on that boat was intoxicated. And they had just left a house where one of them that was on that boat, family was. But yet they were allowed to leave and get on that boat. Mm. Mm. So it's really sad. I mean, every incident like that, it's always enough blame to go around for everybody involved. And those that, because Mallory was the only one that ended up deceased, all of those that have survived that have thought, why did I survive and not her? Especially her boyfriend. What do you mean you don't think that's why? What don't you think that's why? Yeah, that boat accident was just heartbreaking. I mean, to hear that boy and the other people there screaming for Mallory, it just, oh, that just tore me up something fierce. So you don't think that the boat accident was why? What do you think was why? So you're saying that you think the boat is the reason that he killed Maggie and Paul? Well, But why kill Maggie and Paul? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. If you know a lot's coming and it's because of your own damn behavior, I mean, why take them two out? They didn't do it. I knew what you meant. And I don't believe he took that damn many pills a day either. I don't see how in the Sam hell he could take that many pills a day and nobody, no. It don't make no sense to me. I mean, that was a lot of Oxycontin or whatever it was he was on. I mean, what was it? The amount he said it was like, I don't know, I done forgot. I know it was a ridiculous amount of money supposedly he spent per day. People had to know. That's what I'm saying. There's more, way more to this. I mean, look, okay? I'm from South Carolina. I know how some of them people can be. And I know that people with money a lot of times gets really greedy. But there was accusations going around that he was running some kind of a drug ring or something. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, why would he be in such need of money and steal it from his clients? I mean, I don't know. It's just so much about that just, I don't know, just don't add up. Something is just not right. And, I grew up in the upstate of South Carolina, and you don't go messing around those people down there. Mm. But yet he kills his wife and his son, but he don't want his family. You know, I don't know. I just there's way more to this that hasn't been uncovered yet. And for such a shitty sled investigation, we'll probably never uncover it because sled didn't, I don't know what the hell their problem was. Because the way they investigated that thing was just a joke. But I don't know. It's just, I just feel like there's a lot more and a lot more people. I don't think it was I don't think it was just him. But, that's just, but still, I can have my opinions. Doesn't make my opinions facts. I could be totally damn wrong. It's just what I see. But we, as YouTube creators, we have to be responsible in the way we put things out. Welcome back, dear Casey. I just don't want to see people get more lost because I'm sorry, but unless you've got millions of followers and millions of watch hours, you ain't making bank on YouTube. You're not paying your bills off of it. So why jeopardize yourself? Just be careful. Well, I'm not sitting here saying that I don't think that he didn't have any type of involvement. I don't think he pulled the trigger on either gun. And to be honest, I don't think he was even there. But I do think he knows who. I mean, because think about it. He's a lawyer, a civil lawyer, but still a lawyer. He had to study criminal law as well. Would it make sense to be one that pulled the trigger? Yeah. Like I said, hell, I could be wrong. Shit. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. Wasn't there. But it's that's the good thing about these platforms and really what they should be used for is to talk and share our opinions. We don't have to argue about it. What the hell's there to argue over? Exactly, Casey. Exactly. Well, I've got to grab this phone call, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.